7 days of rest and sacred renewal. The 5th annual global event for the healing and thriving of Earth and all her inhabitants. During the first 7 days of the new year, we unite around the world to renew ourselves and our sacred bonds with each other and with all of life, with uncompromising commitment to living the truth of who we are. We rebirth ourselves, individually and collectively, as wise and loving stewards of creation. Together, we lay the foundations and prepare for a new era of love and wisdom in action.
Happy New Year. Welcome everyone to Rest in Resonance. This is our offering to the 7 days of rest and sacred renewal. And I'm so grateful that you all decided to join us today, whether you're here live or you're listening to the recording. This is our time to relax in resonance together. And it being a new year, our theme today is rebirthing. What a perfect theme for the first day of the new year, because this is always a time where we get to set our intentions for a new beginning. And this invitation of the 7 days of rest and sacred renewal, this intention that we start this new year, this new phase, this new time from a place of rest inside of ourselves so that we can respond to whatever arises with our hearts open and with love. So I want to invite us all right now just to relax. Let this hour and a half be nourishing for you. And I always like to begin by feeling the bottom of my feet. I loved in that video, I had teary eyes. I know I'm going to be tearing up during this time. And if you feel that, let it out, because I think it's those places inside of us that are just like longing to relax. And so this little bit of tears comes so that we can just keep opening. So when we feel the bottom of our feet, we're here connected to this beautiful earth, and we can just let go of everything. You're safe right now for this time, and we can relax and hold each other. And Gary, let's bring your camera on. Gary and I are co-hosting this event, and really it's been inspired by, gosh, your whole life, Gary. This moment has been inspired by and this desire to really support us in our intention to actually like come from this deep place inside of ourselves. And I really want to invite you to share with everyone as we begin, why rest in resonance? Why reclaiming what matters most through the magic of music? Like enter us into this experience through your intention.
Well, first of all, Happy New Year, everyone. This was inspired by the experience of hearing the commitment that Shelley and Jan shared with me. And I didn't really understand that everything that I've been searching for in my quest to create music, to drop into resonance, had directly to do with the capacity of ourselves to have sacred renewal in the rest itself. It was so obvious. It was sitting right before me as Shelley and Jan were speaking. And I hadn't realized it. And it's what, the wounded healer heals thyself. It's what I've been searching for, that sense of safety, that sense of rest, that sense of unpacking the being, the wave, the ripple in the pot in the lake when that pebble drops in. And how does music have a unique, extraordinary capacity when created for that purpose to help us vibrationally align on every scale and on every dimension? As we're hearing this music, which was created as part of a healing with Sarah McCrum, I have used this music that Teresa is playing now for my own implicit traumas that happened in the womb and afterwards in the last 2 years. And I call it the chrysalis because I felt like it held me in the capacity to let the trauma unfold and unravel and relax. So that's why I titled this Remembering What Matters Most Through the Magic of Music, because we are inherently wired to assemble our wholeness into a direct, palpable, and embodied experience. Mm. We don't have to learn anything. We are encoded with the capacity to heal and align and make ourselves whole. Yeah. So our intention today is, and my dream for this was, let's use the context of being online together to be aware of how listening itself is a magic tool that can bring us home to ourselves.
Mm. Yeah, coherence is our natural state. Mm. We can relax together into that. And Gary and I are really committed to actually be this for ourselves with you. And when we do it in community, we have this capacity just to let go a little bit more because we're held in the field. And we're with people all around the world, not just those of us on the call today or listening to this recording, but so many people around the world are saying yes. Let's create a field of rest and sacred renewal to launch into this new year together. So thank you for being here. And thank you, Gary, for saying yes and for playing in this way. And we have Lisa Raphael is joining us today with our theme of rebirthing. So and just maybe bring her on camera for a moment.
And we pronounce it Lisa Raphael.
Raphael.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Lisa.
And I thought of inviting Lisa. Well, you'll hear why. Today we'll unfold that.
Yeah.
It's wonderful to be a part of this incredible opportunity for really listening and for absorbing. Gary, that was so beautiful what you said, and Teresa, so beautiful how you opened this session. And I immediately went into my feet, and thank you so much for inviting me to do that and to drop in that way, because the embodiment of being able to listen while you're embodied, while you feel that presence, is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. So,
Indeed.
Yeah.
This is perfect because I want to invite us all to have an entertaining experience. INNER. And we can't experience the grace of rebirth without imagining and vibrating at the frequency of the true possibilities. So this transformance attunement video that Sarah McCrum and I improvised gives us a chance to drop in together as we all align around the sacred fire of this multisensory invitation into a future that we all celebrate and want to imagine and envision together.
Hey, Gary, before we play that,
oh yes,
let's really just do that one more time. Let's feel the bottom of our feet, because what happens when we do that is we instantly are out of our mind. It's like, it happens in this moment, the second we feel the bottom of our feet, and connect to this earth, so that this time that we're spending together in this deepening is going right down into our Mother Earth, and we're coming into resonance with her. And then instantly, as you bring your awareness up, you land in your belly. And what a beautiful place to come to and soften. So when we're listening to this transform, it's just be in our feet and our belly. And then as you start to open, notice that you rise into your heart and just start breathing in and out of your heart. Just let that be kind of what we're doing together as we're listening to this beautiful piece.
And it has visuals, so allow yourself to see if you want to, but don't feel compelled to look if you don't.
Mm.
Let's take a look into the year 2030. A time when we can see the results of so many people making positive change. Let's feel right now what it's like to know peace on our planet. Let's see what it looks like when Earth is free to restore her natural beauty. Let's listen to the sounds of people who are living in harmony with each other and with nature. Let's sense the deep love for life that has created this change. The people who have joined together to do good for the world. The individuals who had the courage and determination to do what they knew was right. The organizations that change direction for the sake of our mutual well-being. The leaders who encouraged us to trust ourselves and our inner knowing. The spirits who whispered in our hearts, showing us the way when we couldn't see it clearly. These are the expressions of love that unite us and give us power to move forward, creating the world we long to live in. Let's bring that world into the present moment and live it today and tomorrow and the next day and every day on the path to 2030 and beyond.
Mm.
That's so beautiful, Gary.
Mm.
And so inspirational. Truly guiding us into envisioning.
Mm. So we're just going to take a few minutes before we, just keep diving into this experience. I put together some visuals that I wanted to play to help us in our relaxing. Sometimes just kind of starting with just being here, just getting here. So we're just going to play a little music and just have you watch these visuals and really feel them, feel your body. And I'll just say one thing, go like this, clench your fist, just clench it as tight as you can, just clench your fist. And now just don't stop clenching. You don't have to open your fist, just stop clenching. That's the movement, like every cell in our body, like all the places where we're kind of resisting what is, or we're feeling some tension. We want to go inside as we relax and just unclench everything. All right. So let's just spend these few minutes with these beautiful visuals. And as you're doing it, I want you to breathe and relax. Halen, you can start those. Really attuning to this beautiful planet and just the stillness of nature. Relaxing into Mother Earth. Really let yourself relax. Take those shoes off. Get comfortable. Comfortable and open. This is my favorite. I love how my cats just know how to relax, rest, peace. So this day, this time, this moment is holy ground as we rebirth ourselves. The new year, a new life. This is a prayer spiral that I created yesterday. I went down to the beach after our opening session and I created this prayer for all of us. That we drop deeply into this rest and sacred renewal. And birth this new potential together. Gary. We're relaxed and we're here and we're present. Ready for you.
Beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I want you to relax, Gary. I love you when you're relaxed.
I hope you love when I'm getting relaxed too.
I agree with you.
What I'd like to invite us all into is an extraordinary first iteration of the utilization of a thing called divine nine tuning. And it's a longer story I don't have time for today, but I'm going to let you be your own petri dish. I'd like to invite you into an experience of allowing listening itself to be your continued unfolding into rest in your heart. And there's when you go online to the website, you'll see the origins of this piece, but it's a unique tuning system that has every one of the pitches on the piano are tuned to be divisible by 9, the most mentioned number in all religions, and the number that the pi ratio and the Fibonacci experience are reduced to. So that's a lot of words. Let's just dive right in and allow yourself to go. I'm gonna fade it out. It's normally 46 minutes, but I'm gonna fade it out at about 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Allow yourself to experience this as a tool to drop even deeper in to the place from which rebirthing arises from. That deep inner stillness inside is the place from which we are reborn. May that occur for you. And I'm going to play this now.
Beautiful.
Give me a minute while I find it. Here it is. Wow. Oh, interesting. It's not in where I thought it was. Hey, Kaylin. Oh, actually, I will do it. Hold on. Perfect opportunity to breathe. Okay, here we go. Starts with a thunderstorm and the evidence of being in nature. Go on the ride. We'll see you on the other side.
Hey, Kaylin, does that sound rough to you?
It's coming in, Teresa. Trust me. It's going to be fine.
Boy, let's just stay with that for a minute, Gary. Like, wow, the silence on the other end of that is exquisite. Hmm.
When that music came through on this newly tuned piano, I the phrase that came to me was that trust was a dividend, was an investment, not a dividend.
Hmm.
And everything that came through was just relaxing the egoic control of outcome. And so everything that came through was letting go and surrendering to just radical trust.
Hmm.
And because I've needed that the most, is radical trust in the spaciousness, so we offer what we need the most, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that, what happens when we release resistance to what is, right? Because what is. And when we can release that resistance and we can start to relax in the way that you're talking, come into resonance with life, with our own kind of being, right? Then we can open up to kind of expressing this uniqueness that we are on behalf of life. And so, as we enter into this new year, if we can just let go of resistance to what is, whatever is, is. And it's how we show up in each moment and how we respond to what is that matters. What we feed the field matters.
Mm.
Yeah. I know I'm really dedicating this 7 days for myself of like, I want to be a coherent presence on this planet. And no matter what comes, I want to face it with love.
Mm.
And I'm really going to keep dropping deeper into that embodied response. And the music is really helping, Gary. I'm having just waves of just release and thank you.
Well, I'm excited because we get to start inviting the work and the mission and the dream and the work and the beautiful resonance of my beloved friend Lisa Raffel. So may I just welcome you, Lisa, officially and formally into this field. You are not only one of the most beloved friends of mine and collaborators with the books and the CDs we've created, but also the musical we're working on that you'll hear more about. But Lisa's a phenomenally gifted spiritual guide and intuitive. So I just want to, rather than formal bio reading, I just want to say that my life has been profoundly impacted by the emotional, spiritual, and vibrational intelligence of this woman, who has been a dear, dear, dear sister of mine. And I love you so much, Lisa. So welcome to this field and welcome to sharing your work with us.
Thank you. I'm just going to take that in for a moment. That's a part of listening, is really receiving. And all that love that's in your heart that came through those words have landed very deeply in me. And so I'm letting myself just celebrate that experience. When I teach, I like to say that love grows when it's shared. But it can't grow unless it's received. So, I can say all these wonderful things about you and hope you receive it too. And you also, Teresa. This is just beautiful to be in this field with you both. Really, really touched and grateful and happy. Happy New Year.
Thank you for taking that moment to take in the love. Like, That's a really great thing that we can bring into these 7 days, that we just allow for the love that comes to us, the reflections about how our loving is showing up in the world, that we actually take a moment to receive it and embody it. And thank you for that. Oh, it just touched my heart so deeply. This is the first time we're really meeting, and I love you already.
I love you too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Teresa, I'm going to let you guide Lisa as she shares what she wishes as a part of the multisensory work that we've offered for our community today.
Wow, I'm just ready. I would love to place all of our hearts in your hands.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
What a sweet offering. You know, so let me take that in as well. I want to go to a couple of thoughts. The first is really about what is rebirthing and what is it to remember when something is born. Because if we look at a baby, we look at the innocence of the baby, the pure innocence, the willingness to love in that pure moment when they first look into your eyes, when the willingness of that new being, which we have all been, which we all are, at any moment, where we look into someone's eyes with trust and love and willingness and openness. That inspiration of that newborn gives us the opportunity to let go of whatever is constricting that. And so when I first was working with Gary on our first project, which is called Safe in the Arms of Love. And it started because I spontaneously started writing these, what I call conscious lullabies, which weren't written for the baby. They were written for the parent to feel the love and awakened consciousness of the baby, so that as they were opening their heart to the baby, of course, would be embraced in that incredible field of unconditional acceptance and love. And when we were writing the book, Gary suggested we write our own story of our child's birth. And I wrote down about my daughter, who was 7 weeks early. And while I was writing the story, I had a revelation which was very disturbing, which was when she was born, I was told by the doctor to go home because she would be in the incubator for a long time and there was nothing I could do. And so I should go home and rest, and I would meet my daughter when she came home. And she was in that incubator for 3.5 weeks, and the nurses wouldn't let me touch her. They did not encourage me to come visit her. And so when she came home, she was a stranger and I was a stranger. And we never bonded. And I didn't realize that had happened until I wrote that story. Because we don't talk about it in culture. We don't reflect upon it in our culture. We're always moving forward. We're always thinking about the next thing. And we're not stopping to really be in that moment of what is that first connection. It's gotten better. A dear friend of mine, Raylene Phillips, is a doctor. She goes all over the world and she teaches about the sacred hour, which is to take that first hour when the baby's born, put the baby skin to skin, and do nothing to interrupt that bond. Well, I didn't have that with my daughter. And when I realized I didn't have it, I felt such regret and loss. And I thought, what can I do to make it better? And so I called her and we talked, and it's taken many years for us to really unravel the destruction that was done by us not being able to be together. So I've joined a national organization, the National Perinatal Association. I went on the board. I to try and work with doctors and bring my point of view. And then I joined the Association for Pre and Perinatal Birth Psychology and Health. It's called birthpsychology.com, which supports the consciousness of the baby, preconception, during pregnancy, post-birth. And all of this work also led me to write more songs and to work with Gary more. And then we created a musical, which was first like a review of stories and songs. It was all about birth. I interviewed moms and dads and doulas and midwives and doctors. And it was funny and it was entertaining and people loved it. And then I felt drawn to making it more of a story. And then it was performed again in New York and people loved it. And then we were drawn together to make more of a musical out of this material. So more and more people would be touched by the importance of how you bring a baby into the world matters. And how love can really heal generational and historic wounds. So all of this has been an extraordinary journey with Gary as a creator, a co-creator. It's been an extraordinary healing for me as I've come through what it is that I have learned from this experience. And it got me to thinking about my relationship with my mother, where we never bonded. And in this time, I did a lot of different study, which was Kabbalistic study, shamanic study. I was having spontaneous openings of my own gifts and talents. And so I really felt, and I really feel, and I think I will always feel, the incredible blessing of how each person is a gift to the world. How each person brings forward that capacity for love in their own way. And how that capacity can be nurtured through the rebirthing experience. And so I am so grateful, Gary and Teresa, to be invited into a rebirthing opportunity, so that we can drop into that innocence, that first innocence of the baby, and can remember that there's a willingness that comes. It requires...
May I share something, Lisa? So
Sure.
I want to give people a direct experience because this is really about resting in resonance. And so one of the things I want to say, we have the video of the sacred ground, or we can go right to always, but I wanted you to choose that. But what I want to say as a preamble is one of the things that's been remarkable. I remember when we did that meditation before Safe in the Arms of Love studio.
Yeah.
We tried to slow our nervous system down to the baby's capacity, that level of sensitivity. One of the great gifts of co-creating with Lisa on these projects has been to awaken to the state of innocence that is innate, like you said, in all of us at all times. So when we look at these images or we play what we're about to play for you, it's really about coming home to that natural state of the little child in us that will always exist with innocence, right? So it's up to you, Lisa, what you want to give the experience, but whether you want to do the Sacred Ground video or always in your heart. But I wanted to move us into an experience.
Can I say something before that? I just want to really acknowledge, Lisa, the potency of the feeling, like you shared with us, like a transmission of your experience. And I really want to invite us today in this moment of rebirthing to really connect with ourselves in the way that you do in those first moments, right? With that new baby. So we really bring ourselves into that. And the transmission of that was so profound. I didn't want to move on before just acknowledging it. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Sometimes the tenderness, the evoking of willingness to feel, the power of holding that feeling with tenderness. Those are rebirthing moments in true fullness. You know, it really allows the body, and as Gary was saying, we did ceremony before our recordings so that our nervous systems, our future thinking would stop. And so we could just be present with what it was that we really knew we were being asked to do.
So this is perfect, Lisa. I'm going to decide. Let's go to always. It's
Okay.
such a transmission. And would you set it up before we play and
Sure,
promote
sure.
how they can experience it for themselves?
The song "Always in Your Heart," which I'm singing, it's an unconditional love experience. And so it's really for you to feel within yourself, for you to feel for others. It has been used for people, for babies coming in, and it's used for people going out. That sense of awareness and trust. And I just want to share that we clinically tested our music with HeartMath to really understand the value of it before we put it out, to make sure people were getting what we were promising. And so I encourage you to really let yourself drop into what it is you're about to hear.
Helen, you're playing always, correct?
Rest your head, go to sleep. Let your dreams fall away. Drop into the silent deep, where your soul can play. Breathe your breath with my breath, rocking like the ocean floor. Love is like nothing else, always there, more in store. I love you. Near or far, it doesn't matter where you are. Even apart, we're always touching hearts. We're always touching hearts. My love is strong as the wind and as wide as the sky. It's filled with joy. Can you feel it? So soft like a butterfly. La 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 la. 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 Feel what's coming to you. It's my glow. Now you know how love feels when it's true. Sleep, my sweet wild rose. Gather strength like the sea. Your smile is bright as a rainbow, a light for all to see. La 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 la. 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 Hear this prayer I sing to you. Know that when we're apart, I am always with you. I'm there deep in your heart. I'm there deep in your heart. Even when we're apart, I am always in your heart.
I haven't heard the song in its entirety for a very long time, Lisa. And I had the experience of this. It's your glow. Now you know how it feels when it's true. And that's like the theme of the whole 7 days. Now we know how it feels when it's true.
Mhm.
The resonance allows us to feel the truth of it, the truth of its isness, so tender, so beautiful and so innocent. I love that song, Lisa. Beautiful work.
Thank you. Well, you arranged it magnificently and
I
produced.
wonder if we could just take a moment of silence with that. I'm still hearing.
You're mentoring me in that, Teresa. Good.
Like, that's just everyone on the call right now. We can still kind of hear that song playing, that beautiful image of the mom and that little child. And let's just take it just a moment deeper into the. Mm. Now I know I'll hear that as I'm walking in the day today. I'm going to be hearing that la, 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 la,
La, la, la.
la. Thank you both. That was
Oh,
beautiful. Thank you.
you're welcome. You're welcome. You know, Gary, on that, I would like to, um, I'd like to give a shamanic prayer.
Good. Do you want me to put that Om behind you?
Not quite yet. I want to do one without the Om and then one with the Om. The one without the Om would just be an invocation. It's
Okay.
short.
Okay,
It's
good.
um, I sing harmonic overtone prayers that are filled with intention to bring into the field that intention in a way that vibrationally people can feel. So I moved from hearing the song too, and there's a prayer that came to me when I was in the Great Pyramid in Egypt that came out of its own language. It was a language that was just given to me, and the phrase is Aioe, which means I am here. I am here in my divine presence. I'm here recognizing we're all in divinity. I'm here knowing that I'm remembering this. And so I'm just going to do a short invocation of that because that's such a key part of rebirth is to remember your divinity, to be spacious enough to allow yourself to follow what your body is asking you to do in this awakened presence. I have a story that I recorded that's somewhere being presented today on rebirth that really describes my own experience of having gone through this in a physical sense. But in an emotional sense and physical sense, we can do this through resonance. So the prayer is this. Ai o we hu e ai el. Ai o we ai o. Ai o we hu e ai el. Ai o we ai o ai o we ai o we. Maya, this prayer I am giving now. This prayer I am giving now is for peace. Hayo my hiya huya hiyo huyo huyo hai hai. Oh my hai
Let's all silently add our own prayer into this moment. And radiate our prayers out onto this planet and all of life. Let it touch all of life. And bring your hands onto your own sweet heart and send that prayer right into every cell in your being. This is where we begin our 7 days of rest and sacred renewal, right here, inside of our heart. Mm.
Thank you for sharing your innocence and your vulnerability and your beautiful, beautiful gift of bringing forth prayer in that way, Lisa. That was just priceless. I'm debating whether we want to talk about or share the song that's part of our musical, and it's we're kind of now turning the corner into digesting, assimilating, and maybe the last thing is the share about the musical and the song that ends our first act. But how do you feel about that, Lisa?
Oh, I think it's a wonderful idea, Gary.
Okay.
Gary wrote this song before we were doing the musical. And I said, this has to be in the musical because of the profound wisdom of the song and because of the beauty of it. And because that's such a critical part of the awakened process is to remember who we are. And so in this context in the play, it comes at a moment at the end of Act One where my two protagonists are choosing things that are very important to them, but it's not bringing them together, it's tearing them apart. And so at this moment, when the song comes in, the audience is allowed in to this moment of the baby's birth. And the birth happens on stage, and it's dramatic and it's wonderful. And right following the baby's birth, this song is sung to remember this incredible being coming into the world. And it's actually not just for the baby, it's for everyone.
And I just want to make a mention that this musical is like a full-blown 30 songs arc of story, character development, devoted, supported by our executive producer, Lisa's husband, Dr. David Sorenda. And it has been the journey of a lifetime creating this work for the last many years. So I really look forward to, it's really all inspired by everything we're talking about today. It's a large part of why we did this, why we're doing this musical. So I will share the song now, or at least Kaylin, please share the song, and then we'll be on the other side. Do I know?
The sun comes up, I hear a cry. A baby's born, I see her eyes. We're made of grace and a wisp of stars. Do you remember who you are? We take first steps and we fall each day, and we take that breath to go on our way. We're made of hope and a wisp of stars. Do you remember who you are? Seasons come and seasons go, like clouds pass in the sky. First we're born and then we go, without ever knowing why. We have the moment, we have each other, we have this breath of life that's gone in a blink of an eye. We fill our days with endless goals, yet we search and pray to find our souls. We're made of songs and a wisp of stars. Do you remember who you are? Plant a seed and watch it grow. A flower blooms, but the petals know. Where a flash of light and a wisp of stars. Do you remember? Will you remember? Will we remember who we
And of course, the way that ends normally is that we sing all together. We will remember who we are, and encourage you all to sing this affirmation that we will never not be here, no matter what the form is. So let's sing it together just twice or more. We will remember who we are. We will remember who we are. Yeah.
Let's take out the will and we remember who we are.
We are remembering.
Mm.
We are remembering who we are. We are remembering who we are.
I love that song so much.
Mm. Mm.
So we're bathing in the experience of rebirthing ourselves.
Mm.
And we're experiencing the codes of rebirthing, if you will. We're allowing the gift of music to soften us and tenderize us and open us into wholeheartedness and sweet vulnerability and innocence from which rebirthing occurs.
Mm.
The name of the musical is, for those that just asked in the chat, is Can You Hear Me, Baby? A new musical. And we are boldly going forward to offer this to the world. We hope it'll be on Broadway one day.
Mm. So beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Gary, let's go. I'm going to share a few slides so that people know how to find out about Lisa and
Great.
about the organization. And then when we come back from that, then I'd love for us each to offer some closing words or prayers into the space before we go today. So, and with a little music behind us, right? So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Oops. It's always so funny when you don't get it going right. All right, that was fun. I get to cut it out of the recording. So I just want to remind everyone that this is part of the 7 days of rest and sacred renewal that's happening all around the planet. And if you want to see some of the other offerings, you can go to 7daysofrest.org. I'll be putting these links in the chat following this. And Lisa, we're so grateful to have you here today. And Lisa's website, we'll also put a link in the chat. There's so much richness on your site, Lisa, beautiful offerings. There's some links to some of your music there. And I see that you also have a course that you're offering. I was exploring that. It looks like something beautiful. Do you want to say something about that if people want to experience you more deeply?
Really, thank you. It's a course for your own personal transformation into wholeness. And it explores through 5 different paradigms of perception and experience, ways to understand your courage, compassion, your sense of wonder, and also your sense of inner power that is always in you and that often we forget is there. But there are exercises, and it goes very deep. In a very short period of time, it goes very deep, and the quality of I'm very blessed to be deeply intuitively psychic in many levels, so I can be a real resource. And so that's what a lot of the teaching centers around, you learning how to do that for yourself and me supporting you to do that.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm going to explore that myself. And this is the organization that you spoke about that's doing such good work, and we wanted to share that with people so they can check it out and support this work.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, APA, birthpsychology.org, is a fantastic organization, just fantastic. It's not just for doulas and midwives, and it's for everybody to really understand the power and the mystery of what can happen when you have a bonded birth and how to heal it. So I saw in the chat that there were some people who spoke about that this happened, the not bonding happened with them and it didn't heal, and it's always capable of being healed. So
Beautiful.
Great organization.
Thank you for sharing. And the music that you've been hearing and that you're going to hear over these 7 days, you can get wisdomoftheworld.com with Gary. I mean, there's so much richness. I was listening in the car this morning on the way over to some of my favorite pieces. And I think, during these 7 days, like if you just want to take a moment to rest and relax and kind of come back into this feeling tone, go to Gary's site and listen to some of the music. And it's beautiful, also a wealth of offerings. And I want to encourage you all to join the Global Coherence Pulse in January, where we're going to have Shelley again, the founder of the 7 Days of Rest, where we'll just keep dropping into this theme throughout the entire month. And if you're looking for a community where you can be in the cultivation of coherence as a practice in a community, I really want to invite you to come and explore the Islands of Coherence Network, which is a place that I'm co-stewarding with a lot of others, and it's really a beautiful place for us to connect.
I have to say one thing about that. I will go back to the Islands of Coherence. I need to say that this community that Teresa has created for all of us who recognize that love is all there is a place where you don't have to be concerned around content because it's screened by the nature of people joining this community. So there's a phenomenal level of sensitivity to the power of coherence inside of this beautiful community that Teresa has lovingly created. And I just really want to underline that it's a home for all of us who recognize the importance of coherence as the only way forward. The only way, Jim Garrison said, the only way forward is to cultivate coherence within us.
Yeah, we're all in there practicing together. We need those safe spaces. And then tomorrow we're going to be on our 2nd day of the 7 Days of Rest and Resonance with Clint Rogers as one of our guides. So I look forward to being with you all tomorrow as well. Wow, what a beautiful day we've had together. And I thought maybe we all could share just some closing words, to take us out into our day today. And Gary, maybe we can start with you.
Yeah, just a couple of wonderful quotes. The highest goal of music is to connect one's soul to their divine nature, not entertainment. That was Pythagoras. And Dr. Tomatis, listening is nothing less than our royal route to the divine. I just want to say what a privilege it is to be sharing the co-pilot seat with Teresa. This is like, wow, it's just such a privilege. Thank you, Teresa, for being such a phenomenal embodiment of the transmission of coherence as a path forward to sanity, and to the world that we all want to experience each moment, every moment, right? And Lisa, what a beloved opportunity to share you and the brilliant work you do. And I just want to say to all of you that I just want to really emphasize that the reason why this music works is because I have needed it for me tremendously. There's this authenticity stamp of approval because I have been fumbling my way into the awareness that coherence is the only path, and the music has been the most profound gift that I've been given to practice it, explore it, cultivate it, and share it. So what a privilege to have the opportunity to use it exactly for what it's being designed for. And thank you for creating the context in which we could experience that together. What a gift. Thank you.
Lisa, how about you?
Well, first, Teresa, I want to honor your presence, your groundedness, your consciousness, your commitment. I think that graphic behind you is perfect.
My prayers back.
Yes, I just love it because it really, I have felt so embraced in this time with you both. And I honor you for having created that space for that to happen. And for us all, wherever you are in the world and whoever you are in the world, that you have joined us in this space. I feel that coherence from you all. I feel blessed to be in this kind of a quality of coherence. And so I'm just so grateful to be a part of this. Gary, thank you so much for inviting me to participate. And thank you, Mother, Father, Life, for giving us this new year and for giving us the opportunity to be ourselves in the most authentic and loving way, with freshness and renewal, and with understanding that there's always grace. Grace is always there.
Yeah, beautiful.
From you, Teresa.
Oh, I just want to take this feeling that I can feel we're all having, this love that's, kind of emanating from our hearts. And I just want to do one more pulsing out into the field, and it's everybody on the planet that could just use a hug right now, just to feel this love. And again, like back into your own sweet heart, so that every cell in your body just gets this love and starts to just unclench, just slowly unclench, so that we can open and start this new year and this new life from this place. Yeah. And Gary, I'm so happy we get to do this. You've been wanting to do this for a while. Like, we need to do this together. And your music is just exquisite. Your music is exquisite. And Lisa, your transmission of authentic presence just has really warmed and touched my heart so deeply. So thank you. I'm looking forward to knowing you more and having a chance to be in this life together. So
Me
thank you.
too. Me too. I look forward to that with you. Absolutely.
And to everyone who's on the call with us right now or listening to this recording, thank you. Thank you for sharing this time with us, and let's keep deepening every day.
And remember, everyone, that these recordings now will be uploaded to the 7 Days of Rest and their Facebook Live, so you can share it to your community. And I want to make a special acknowledgement to Kaylin Holmes and Ian Downey, his partner, but Kaylin, who's been making this be such a smooth experience for us to allow ourselves to just be focused on the purpose of the call itself, and rather than having to fumble with all the things that would need to be fumbled with, or at least sorted through. Thank you, Kaylin. We're so grateful to you. And all of you, we hope that you join us and spread the word for the next days coming. And just a word about Clint Rogers is, well, he's the guy that wrote the book, Ancient Secrets of a Master Healer. And it's a movement. It's a beautiful thing. You're going to want to know about him, and welcome you to join us tomorrow.
He's just an exquisite being. You will all love being with him. Just exquisite.
Truly.
Truly.
Yeah. So take this out into the world today.
Oh, Lisa, do you want to say one more thing?
There were questions about the chat. Does that get saved as well with the recording?
Yeah, I have access to the chat. There's also like 3 buttons down on the bottom left that you might be able to save the chat. I know some people say they can, and others.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream. And I just want to say goodbye to all of our friends who are listening out on social media. And we're going to stay in the Zoom room just a little bit longer as you get things from the chat. So blessings, take this out into the world and join us.